up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right, and this is the only place where entrepreneurs align and heroes come to life. That's right, people that are making a difference in the world. And by the way, thank you for the feedback we continue to have from when I interviewed Richard Branson. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. All right, I am so excited about this next hero. First of all, I've been watching all his YouTube videos. It's absolutely, it's mind-blowing. And when I say mind-blowing, you're gonna know that to be the case because he is the winner of the Golden Buzzer on Britain's Got Talent. And you could reach him at IamXOfficial on Instagram, or also on Instagram, I am Spellman. Because with that, we have Marc Spellmann. Okay, Marc, first of all, how do I even describe what you do? Because it's not so much a magician, it's not so much as a mentalist, but it's a combination of so many things.
Oh, yeah, thank you, first of all, for the lovely introduction. It was amazing. Thank you so much. I guess, in a way, I kind of narrow it down, and I call myself a mystery artist. So I have a background in illustration and art. I love art, theatre, live theatre, that kind of thing. But also, I've always been fascinated with magic, with mind reading, all genres of magic, like the big stage illusionist. One of my favourites is David Copperfield, one of the greatest of all time. So for me, I like to take different elements from all of those things and put them together and kind of try to create something that is emotive, kind of evokes a positive feeling with a message behind it. And for that, I sort of say a mystery artist is probably the best title because I think it encompasses all of those things. Now,
on Facebook, when it went live, you had over 130 million views. I mean, that's in itself like absolutely incredible. One of the most watched. I mean, it's phenomenal. Now, talk to me about how do you come up? I mean, for our listeners, give an example of one of the things that you do on stage.
Okay, so as an example, I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious commodities. Forget everything else. Without time, there is nothing. And I've always loved that saying. I love that notion of time and really sort of treasuring the time that we have because in the big scheme of things, it's the blink of an eye. And so for me, I wanted to come up with a piece that was symbolic of time. So as an example, there's a piece that I do in my performances where I give you a box and I say to you, inside that box is one of life's most precious commodities. I ask you to name an hour and some minutes. And then I ask you to open the box, and inside is a watch set to exactly the time that you've just mentioned. And that is, I think of that element first, and I think that's the picture. It's almost like a painter. A painter kind of looks at a canvas and sees the end picture, which is what I kind of do with what I want to convey. And then for me, I have to work backwards and work out a way of achieving what seems to be impossible.
And it is impossible. You're the only one on earth that could do it. How does your brain come up with these ideas?
No, there are. I stand very much on the shoulders of giants. Like David Copperfield, as an example, I mentioned him earlier. David Copperfield, I remember he made the Statue of Liberty vanish, which was, a lot of people now, they think, it must have been a camera trick. It was a perfect illusion. It was amazing. I wish I could have seen it live. But that was in 1985. A huge inspiration to me, and you've got the current people like David Blaine. So I'm inspired by lots of different people and names that your listeners wouldn't even know of from like the 1930s and the 1940s. I love magic. I love everything about it, but I stand firmly on the shoulders of giants. I am very lucky that we have such a rich history of mystery that I can be inspired by.
What's the best way for you to come up, though, with these ideas that nobody else has, really done?
I think life. Things in, like moments in life, things that I used to perform. The magic that I used to perform before Britain's Got Talent was very much, it was like a job. You kind of think, oh, that'd be a really cool card trick, or that'd be a really cool piece of magic to do. And ever since my wife and I had some troubles, we had some health. Well, my wife had some health scares, and our daughter almost wasn't here. It nearly didn't happen for us as to be parents. And I think through times of challenge, we often learn life's most valuable lessons. And for me, those challenges that we face as a family absolutely changed my perception of what I truly believe is magic. And for me, magic is in family, it's in friends, it's in moments, experiences. What I do on stage is it's theatrical magic. So, I want to create a moment of wonder. But in your world, when you look at your daughter or your son or your grandchildren or whatever, that is true, undeniable magic.
Well,
so that's I get inspired by those things. I love that. That to me is magic. There is so much magic around us already. So much.
Well, you know what inspires me? Talking to heroes like you, because you're listening to me, David Cogan, host of the Eliances Heroes Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, because we're speaking with Marc Spellmann, magician, mentalist, and viral star, Golden Buzzer recipient on Britain's Got Talent. You could reach him on Instagram by going to IamXOfficial and/or I Am Spellman. And of course, we'll have it on our website at Eliances.com, Eliances.com. It is the only place where entrepreneurs align. You do a lot of things communicating messages, really, that make an impact. And I know, because I watched most of all of your videos and stuff over and over, trying to figure out how you're doing it. Haven't succeeded yet. Maybe I'll be maybe I'll be your assistant, IMY. So if you're ever looking for one, let me know. But talk to me about some of the messages you can share with parents who can instill it in their children to be able to grow up and really kind of make that impact, share messages like you that affect so many people.
For me, it comes from, I look at my daughter now. She's 3.5 years old. And I look at the world that we live in. I look at obviously there are challenges that we have in the world at the moment. There's division sometimes in life. It happens. It's just historical. It will always be there, I guess. But ever since Isabella was born, I look at her and I see this beautiful little, she's my angel, right? So I look at this beautiful little girl and I just think of what would I want her to be? What would I want her to feel? And what's important to me now as a father with this young little lady in the world? So for me, the messages of just, we are all amazing. We all have potential that we haven't tapped into. And there are some people, I always think this is really important, especially with young people. I think in an age where it's almost like you get these young children that it's almost like when we were children, we could be kids for much longer, it seemed. It seems like now with the technology that we have, people grow up a little bit too fast. And for me, I just want everyone to experience and retain that childlike wonder, even when you're an adult. Just sometimes just think like a child, because it's so innocent and so pure and so beautiful. And I think that's the sort of message. Just look around you at the things that are right next to you, and that's magic. There are the most important things right there, So that's kind of the message, is just trying to open our eyes to the beauty and the wonder that is already around us. Sometimes life just gets in the way of it and we don't see it.
And certainly when the golden buzzer went off and you were on Britain's Got Talent, that really put you everywhere. I mean, that just exploded with everybody knowing who you are. Talk to us, and we've got just a little less than a minute left, though, but I think it's important to know.
Okay.
What were you feeling? What was going through your mind at the time when that golden buzzer went off?
You know, it's a very strange moment because I sometimes I watch it on YouTube, and I kind of have to see it on YouTube to know that it actually happened. In that moment, it was so strange but beautiful. It was a lovely, obviously, a massive moment for an entertainer and for me being on stage as a magician. But more so, the whole performance was a dedication to Isabella and my wife, Tessa. And that, for me, was more than anything. It could have just been me and Tessa in that theatre, and I would have felt the same emotion telling that story as I did to a packed theatre. So it was more about the story. It was like my heart just opened, and it was a lovely moment, which I'll never forget.
Well, Marc, you know what? I'm never going to forget this interview. You ignite wonder in your fans with your well-planned performances. That's a hero. Treasure the time we have. Marc Spellmann, master magician, and mystery artist. You can reach him on Instagram by going to IamXOfficial or I Am Spellmann. And when we return, Darren Ramage, monster maker and filmmaker and CEO of Sun Studios. You can reach him at sunstudiosaz.com. This has been David Cogan with Eliances.